Now, you're probably all familiar with Financial Audit and Caleb Hammer, who actually appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast last week. And to tell you the truth, I didn't watch like the whole thing. I just watched like a few clips. But there's like things I do disagree with him, so I'm just gonna roll the first clip.
Not have sympathy for the boomers. I'm really not.
Really?
Best job market ever, best stock market in the history of the world. Every single boomer, Gen X, whatever, that's been on my show, they lived it up and spent all their money to live the lifestyle they wanted, and they didn't even set 10% aside a month. 10% aside. They had the best housing market, college, jobs. They were set up for everything. If they just put 5 to 10% a month aside in the stock market that they had, they would be multimillionaires.
True, for them totally different than for us. But for us, way fucking easier, man. Because pretty much to invest in stock market or anything like crypto, whatever like you're into, you just download a fucking app and you're in. And you just jump in, you decide which stocks you want to buy or what crypto you want to buy. And that's pretty much all you had to do. Back in the 80s, totally different. Like you have to go, like it's totally doable, but totally different. Like you have to go to a physical brokerage place to pretty much to invest money or do like phone calls. All these were transactions. Commissions were like fucking insane, to 50 to 200 bucks, like stupid. But I do think that what's gonna happen in the next 10, 20 years, people will just look back in the 2020s and they'll be like, oh, this was like the best stock market. Everything was fucking exploding. Crypto, the stock market, the S&P 500, like all this shit was just going nuts. It was the best time and it was so easy to invest and information was free and was like all over the place. Because remember, like back in the 80s, pretty much like information for stock market and pretty much like all these type of investments used to be in the newspapers.
What do you want to study in college? That was it. That's all they cared about.
Right.
And it's fair for most people. College does still have like a 60% premium on those without a degree on average. But that's the only conversation, and it is becoming less and less valuable as every year goes on.
I do kind of agree with him here because yes, most majors are pretty much so unnecessary. They're not going to give you any future. It's just pretty much a waste of time. And now like a fucking college diploma pretty much equals toilet paper. You can't do shit with it. And also like with pretty much like the AI and all that stuff. And even though it's not already the AI that we think it's going to be in pretty much the near future, companies still lay off people. Like Oracle just pretty much lay off 20 or 30,000 people through a fucking email. So I do agree with him on this one. I think the focus should be going to college with something that's gonna give you some potential future, something that's gonna help you in life or get a job that's going to be pretty much making you good money or making you a good living. But nowadays you see how fucked up everything is. So I don't even know. This is just what I think at the moment. And probably if you ask me next week the way things are, I'm probably going to think in like way different.
Okay, I mean, full admission here, and I'm going to look like the most beta pussy in the world, but I don't know how to do a fucking oil change. I don't. Why didn't school teach me that? Why? Why wasn't there any life skills? Now, I have the personal responsibility. I can go teach myself that right now, but I have a Tesla, so I don't need to. But why wasn't there anything about actual life?
And here's where I disagree with him. I don't think school needs to teach you how to change your car oil or any fucking life stuff. I think this is the responsibility of the parent. Your parent should teach you, let's say, how to change a tire, how to change brakes, how to change oil. It's like what my dad teach me. And it's something that's literally going to take you a couple hours and you're going to know it for the rest of your life, how to do that. Because it's not like fucking, I don't know, something that's crazy hard. And with this, also the big question is why school doesn't teach you anything about financing or taxes or investing, all that shit. It's pretty much because like when you're in school, you can't even focus for a good 10 minutes on something. It's like what most people think after they graduate high school and they start fucking up in life. Like the way it's supposed to be, you have to make like some mistakes. And they'll be like, why school didn't teach us this and all that shit? Well, dummy, because you can't fucking focus for a good 10 minutes on something. And nowadays, it's even fucking worse because like with the attention span of good second and a half, pretty much like you gotta play like two Subway Surfers on both sides to get their attention potentially for like good couple of minutes. And that's pretty much it. How they gonna fucking learn? Like you're gonna fuck up, but you're gonna learn. For us, it was like we came from a different country, me and my wife, and when we moved to the States, for the first 5-6 years, our accountant didn't do fucking shit. We were like overpaying to the IRS, which was fucking stupid. But then, by some type of luck, we found like a great accountant that she pretty much was like looking at our taxes that year, and she was like, okay, you gotta come to my office, we have to chat. So we go there, and she pretty much tell us like, okay, why are you self-employed? I was self-employed at the time. She was like, why are you self-employed? Why don't you open up a business? That's how you're gonna do these type of expenses and that shit and this one. And she started telling my wife something else, like she was a photographer at the time, and pretty much tell her the same things. You can expense this, you can do that. Like this is why you guys overpaying like all these years? What the fuck happened? Now I also think it's important to have those programs in schools because some kids they don't have parents. They're orphans or they lost a parent or some like it's life stuff, right? Everything happens. So it's good to have them, but just for those kids. If you have parents, they got no fucking excuse not to teach you some of those things, even if they're fucking wrong. That's the whole fucking point. Because like even if they don't know, for example, my parents always told me save money, and it's fucking stupid. Like for me, it's better not to save money. For me, it's better to invest money. Let's say in S&P 500 or some shit like that. You can always pull those money in because they grow with inflation.
Well, actually, that was another thing that triggered the internet. I kind of agreed with Kevin O'Leary when it said, oh, young people are broke because they spent $28 going out to eat. Well, it's not that specifically only, but it's the death of of 1,000 cuts. And yes, just $28 3 times a week becomes an actual halfway decent retirement fund if you put it in the S&P 500 for a few times a week. That does put off future goals that you have. And the internet went crazy against me. They hated me for suggesting that they shouldn't be able to. They're like, well, how do we eat? Well, groceries, meal prep, meal plan. This is what everyone's done since forever.
And there is the big fucking debate on the internet for the last month, I'll say, is the $28 lunch. Now, as I said, all those things before that, yes, you should invest money, you should do this and that, right? But don't forget to fucking live, man. Because when you're like in your 20s or 30s, you still want to enjoy life. You want to go out, you want to have fun. You can't just save every fucking penny, not do anything else, just work, save money, work and save money. And it gets also addictive to a point like where I see people that this is like all they fucking do. And they have no fucking life. And then you think like, oh, why are you anxious? Why are you this? Why are you that? Because you don't fucking have fun. Like money is also a tool for you to go and actually have fun. And you should not do this like every fucking night or every fucking day. But once a week you can go and have a nice lunch somewhere you've never been to. Eat some good food, like spend time with your friends, get like a couple of drinks, get a little buzz, make some fucking memories. But anyway, that's just what I think on the whole Caleb Hammer thing. And let me know in the comments what you all think, and I'll see you on the next one.